Talie myself will be on in 1 minute. All right.
Perfect.
All right.
You take. Should I let her on, or you want me to wait?
No,
I'll bring her on. You go in the bathroom. I'll bring Talie on. We'll chat. It'll be cool.
Yeah,
It'll be cool.
dude, she's an absolute stud. There's a lot of history with Talie and myself, dude. She commentated Island Fights with me years and years ago. I love that she's still doing it for other promotions. She is now a champion at Peak FC as the flyweight champion, 4-3. I got a lot of love and respect for this woman. Let's bring on Talie Pain onto the show. What's up, Talie?
What's up?
How are you, friend?
I'm great. I know you need to use a restroom, so that's no problem.
Yeah. I was going to say, I can bring her on. Dave's like, no, I got this. I got to do the intro.
He's just too excited. We haven't talked in a while. So.
I know, dude. She's awesome. She's a stud. All right, you guys catch up. I'll be literally 48 seconds.
Okay.
Hi, Talie. Nice to meet you. I'm Elle. Welcome. Yeah, congratulations on your win. How are you feeling right now? Feeling good?
Yeah, no, nice to meet you as well. I've been following you guys for a while, so it's actually awesome to finally talk to you. And yeah, it's exciting. It's been a great week, just kind of coming down from everything, basically feels like I've been in camp since January. I was supposed to fight back in January, and it was just kind of like one cancellation after the other. So it's nice to finally really take a break. And it's not really much of a break. I'm supposed to be fighting in July. I got like 7.5 weeks. So I took the week and now I'm good to go.
Well, that's awesome. So I was kind of doing some digging. I went back and watched your first fight with Caddy Strike, went back and watched your last fight as well. And then I was digging through Instagram and I saw that it was the flyweight fight, it was a flyweight championship. And then on the next post, I was scrolling through and it said it was the bantamweight championship. So tell me what happened there. Was there an opponent change? What went down?
No, it was one of those things, you know, how everything changes like the day of weigh-ins. It was kind of a crazy thing. We both showed up. We both missed weight. And it was one of those, I was so lucky. We kind of threw out like, hey, we both want to fight for a belt. You know, she had a big crowd there. We both were ready for a championship fight. And kind of by the grace of whatever, there wasn't a bantamweight champion. So we were like, hey, screw it. Let's make it a bantamweight fight, you know? And I know both of us don't want to stay at bantamweight. We want to be flyweights. And
that was my next question.
Yeah, I'm going to be fighting for the flyweight championship belt. And so be a double champ. Why not?
Absolutely. Have you fought at 125 before then?
Yeah, pretty much almost all of my fights were 125. My past two were catch weights at 130. But yeah, flyweight is where I'm most comfortable. As I'm getting older, the weight cut is getting really interesting. So having to rearrange and figure that out again, just let my body be more comfortable with it. But I feel so comfortable at flyweight, absolutely love flyweight, and definitely want to officially be the flyweight champ.
Awesome.
So I always write notes, like anytime someone's coming on, and I probably have enough history with Talie. I don't need to, but I always write notes on this paper. And I don't know if you can see on the top thing, I wrote and circled, I love your resolve, Talie. I love your resolve in life, fighting. Like, how many times have you been told no, or been like one win away from maybe a big fight in the Contender Series in the UFC, and it doesn't go your way? Life sometimes does that to good people, and it just seems like I love your resolve. When you hear me say that, what do you take from that?
God, this life is hard.
Yes,
it's rough, and it's like that. It seems, I don't know what it is. I seem to do everything the hard way. And I guess it just makes me a better person. I'm happy to have dealt with so much adversity in the beginning of my career, so that once I get to Contender Series, once I get UFC, I feel like all of that's out the way. And then I can really take off in my career like I know I can. So I keep telling people, I'm like, dude, I just got to keep chugging along. It sucks, but grit your teeth and keep going.
With that being said, is that what you want to do, is through the route of the UFC to the UFC?
Absolutely. Okay. I was telling my manager, I was like, hey, I know Contender Series is coming up in August. Yeah. I'd like to do this fight in July and then have another quick turnaround, do August. I know I can make it there. It's one of those, I know they're like, oh, they want people who do finishes. I know I can get finishes, but I also know that I am such an exciting fighter. It doesn't matter if it's, the distance or not. I always put on a show, and I know I'm finally at that level. Like I said, I faced a lot of adversity in the beginning. I went through some rough things, but I learned my lessons the hard way. And now I feel so beyond prepared to actually be there. That was my 8th pro fight. So I'm ready. I feel absolutely ready. Whoever they were to offer me, I feel good, whether it's striking, grappling. I feel like all my bases are covered now. And that's where I want to go,
Is there a fighter that's on the local circuit that you think is the win that can get you there? A name kind of jumped out at me. A girl you fought a few years ago, Rain Guerrero, is fighting Pearl Gonzalez, who's a huge name on the regional circuit. Is there somebody out there like that you want to prove that you're ready to make that next step to the UFC?
It's funny that you actually bring her up. I have always thought, since we fought, I had a feeling Rain and I would possibly meet again. And I was like, hey, that fight, I think would be an amazing Contender Series fight, and because we both love to bang, and I think we both have progressed so much since the first time we fought. I know she got there, and I know she wants to get back there. Fighting Pearl, I think would be amazing. I really don't care. It's pretty much whoever wants to show up, I'm down to do it. Rain and I have such respect for each other. I think that would be an amazing fight to put on the Contender Series. I think that would be so cool. But yeah, like I said, whoever wants to show up, I'm down for it. I don't really have my eyes on anybody. I would much rather just have anybody willing to actually fight instead of the pullouts and the no's and all that I've been dealing with.
I feel that.
One thing, so you mentioned, do you kind of have like a secret date for July for Peak? Is that kind of like booked a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. July 13th. I think that's the Saturday, July 13th. So yeah, we're about 7.5 weeks away. So I told her, I was like, I took my week last week, I got to sleep in, have some good food. And now it's basically straight back to work.
Let's go. All right. So I was lucky enough. I went to Albuquerque. I was lucky enough. You actually helped me, pick me up. You took me to that awesome gym at Jackson Wink. How, like, I still follow you every day on socials and everything. And it just seems like from afar that the team, especially the girls on the team at Jackson Wink, does feel like very tight. You guys feel like you're like one cohesive unit. Maybe it's super naive to say that from afar, but is it like that right now in the gym? It feels like you guys got a lot of good mojo.
No, I think so. We're all on a roll right now.
Yeah.
The coaches are so locked in. Everyone's locked in. We have so many fights actually coming up June, July, August. So we have, like I said, we have 3 peak champions right now. You have Cody, Jesse, and myself. Yeah. So there's so much momentum going into it. I think everybody is locked in with each other. It feels so good to have that, mesh between everybody. Everyone has fights, so we're all supporting each other, getting ready for the camps and stuff. And so even if I can't hard spar, I'm showing up for the grappling, making sure I can do whatever. Michelle has a fight coming up. I know you just talked to Jillian. So yeah, it's actually some really exciting next couple months. We got some big things coming up. Jesse's defending his belt. I know Cody wants to become a double champ too. I want to do double champ. So gyms go through their issues and stuff like that. I think a couple of years ago, we were trying to repair and stuff, but right now it feels amazing. No drama. We're all locked in with each other. I'm really so motivated to be like, hey, we want to be the best gym and, best gym again, kind of get it for the year and stuff. And so we're all really locked in and it feels really good.
That's awesome. Like I said, from afar, like I feel that and see that because, not saying I know stuff or know whatever, but it felt like it was, broken a little bit, or just it was damaged, and it just seems like you guys seem like it's in a good spot. And like I can't even say that as a coach of little league teams, like when the team is listening and together and trying to do good stuff together, like good shit happens. Like that's life, and it does feel like you guys are in a good spot. Like you're really trying to get it. And I know like the gym and you personally has like a really good relationship with Peak Fighting Championship. It's so funny. I got connected with Peak maybe a half a year ago to a year ago. I always wanted to do some commentating with them. It just never kind of crossed paths the way. And I know you're doing stuff like that for them, but you guys have a really good relationship with Peak.
Yeah, we've been so lucky. I think I was actually the first one to kind of get into Peak. And
Yeah.
then everyone saw just what amazing promotion they put on and production and everything. So everybody's like, hey, get me in, get me in. And so Johnny wants all the good fighters, you know.
Yeah,
We have some
yeah.
amazing, super talented people, all the different weight classes. So it's like, hey, whatever you need, we got somebody, and that will go and really kind of take over. And it feels kind of good to literally be kind of taking over Peak, and we just want to keep going. We're like, we want Lydia to get a belt, we want all
Yep.
these different guys to get the belts, the welterweight belt, like everything, and we just be like, no, completely dominate Peak. So grateful for them and the relationship that we have with them, for sure.
You got any little atom weights over there?
You know what's funny is I think Megan could technically even be an atom weight if she wants. I know Peak has quite a few atom weights.
Really?
So we'll see. We do have a lot of the smaller girls. I don't know if we have that small, but we have definitely some smaller girls.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What's the name of your weight class, Elle?
Atom weight?
Atom weight.
Literally the smallest thing that exists.
So
Okay.
small.
Atom.
Atom weight.
They have some good atom weights though. That it is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know they had very many. That's cool.
Yeah, weirdly, it seems like they have more the smaller girls than like even straw weights. They have more 105ers than 115ers.
Good to know.
Wow, that's
Good to
wild.
Yeah.
I know that you do love to commentate. We did it together. I thought we were absolutely awesome in Island Fights years and years ago, probably in the heart of COVID. And I know you do stuff for Peak. Is that still an interest of you to do commentating and to do stuff on this side of the fight game?
Absolutely. I've had so much fun and learning to kind of get in my groove. And whether it's for Peak or whatever other promotion, I'm super down. I think it's such a blast to do. And it really helps me learn a lot. It was really cool. Actually, I was going to bring it up. So years ago when we did it, I think it was 2020 or 2021, we commentated for Reeves Davis.
Yes. Yeah. I know Reeves.
And I literally just commentated for his pro debut for Peak.
No
and
way.
I was like, wow, that was crazy kind of full circle moment where I'm like looking back at the pictures of us, like they gave us little microphones and we're like, okay, well, let's just put this together, you know, and now to really have the whole like professional production, like I'm so blessed to be able to do that. And like I said, it's a blast to do. So why not?
It's awesome. I'm getting so old in the game now, Talie. I used to commentate fights and now like their kids are fighting. I'm commentating their stuff now. It's
no, you're
good.
killing it. It's been so awesome to watch. Like I said, from when we first started, you know, you were talking about how exciting it was for you to be able to do that. And now, like I said, look at you, like to do it for all these different promotions with those, all the guys on the East Coast. Like that's so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Very cool. Well, dude, I'm just a huge fan of you personally and fighting wise. Like I said, I had this circle resolve. It's like, me as a dad and my kids, like it's something that you try to teach them, but like sometimes in life you kind of have it or you don't. And it's such a underrated thing. Life is not always just sunshine and rainbows, and you're not always going to win, and you're not always going to get what you get. But like if you fall down, like you need to get back up in life. You can't just fall and stay there. And I know Talie will definitely not just fall and stay there. You have so much resolve. Such a fan of you, Talie. Such a fan.
Thank you. I've had so many opportunities where I should have just quit. I've had plenty of people waiting for me to kind of, throw in the towel and stuff. And it was one of those, like, everybody was like, okay, so now what? And I'm like, honestly, I'm going to see. Like, I had put so much pressure on myself, I think in the beginning, like, hey, let me get these wins. I'll go undefeated. I'll get in the UFC, all this kind of stuff. And then when it doesn't happen, it's so heartbreaking. It's so defeating. And so finally I was like, look, I just got to fight. I just got to win. And whatever the universe has for me, it's going to produce. And so I just got to keep going, I
love it. I speak on that undefeated pressure because that's something I've experienced as well. Like I just suffered my first professional loss, and do you agree that not being undefeated almost makes it a little easier? Like it takes the pressure off. Do you feel like that's helped you?
It has. And like I said, it's weird, but it's lucky that I experienced those losses now, And like I said, I'm on a 3-fight win streak and I'm just going to keep going. I had the hard losses and all of those were different lessons, right? First one, got submitted, immediately got into jujitsu, Second one was things get in the way, learn my lesson. Third one, bad weight cut, learn the lesson. So all of these losses, I was able to pinpoint what went wrong, fixed it, not going to happen again, and that's kind of been, again, the story of my career is I learned these lessons in front of everybody. It sucks, but I'm one of those people, I learned my lesson the hard way and it's never going to happen again, and so I'm on this roll now and I'm going to continue on this roll for sure.
Love that. Love that. All right. 5 fun questions and we'll let you run, Talie. We appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Just the first thing that pops in your head. I want people to kind of know you better. You ready?
Okay.
All right. First one. What's the last book that you read?
Ooh, so actually we're on this with Coach Greg. We're doing this. It's like I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's a samurai book. It's like Haguki, and it is amazing. We're learning all about the samurais, like way back when, but it's been amazing to learn the different mindset of the samurais, the warriors, being a champion for sure. So absolutely love it and highly recommended. Love
that. Who would play you? Who would play you in a movie about you? What actress would play you?
What's funny is for the longest time, I've always been obsessed with Hayden Panettiere. I think we kind of look similar too.
Yeah, you do look similar. That would fit.
Love her.
Love that. What's one of your favorite locker room stories? It can be like with you fighting or you cornering someone. What's one of your favorite locker room stories?
Oh, goodness. Okay, locker room story. Honestly, I'll have to say, literally this last fight, we were backstage. This is the first time I've had Coach Wink and Coach Greg corner me. And It was so cool, right? I wanted to show them like, hey, I know what to do. I'm experienced. And it's kind of weird, but literally I'm sitting there, I'm kind of warming up. And I had people going up to Coach Greg and being like, oh my God, you're a freaking legend. Like, I want to be you, all this kind of stuff. And Coach Greg is so, he's so humble. He's like, nah, trust me, you don't want to be me when you grow up, all this kind of stuff. And I was just sitting there like, holy shit, I have Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn in my corner. And to hear the stories of everybody that they've cornered, like GSP, all this kind of stuff, it was just kind of like mind boggling. Like, wow, they're here for me. I get to have them in my corner. And it was amazing. So nothing super drama, but I just thought that was the coolest thing to sit back and be able to watch, like, damn, these people are here for me and they're so supportive of me. So it was really cool.
That's awesome. And then what I was going to go double down on. So it was how the first time we ever commentated together, it was like one of your best girlfriends, Carson Nash, was fighting for Island Fights in the main event. I think it was like you, it was Carson and 2 other people and you. And so instead of like being in her corner, like you were doing commentating with me, but let's just be, you're back, I don't know how you guys are now or whatever. I'm not saying you're not friends, but you know what I mean? Like you were like 100% so invested in Carson's fight and you're like doing commentary and like, different things. You were like, put down the microphone. You're like, Carson, sweep the leg. I'm like, take the back. And like, you were so invested. It was so cool to kind of like see that live next to me. It was awesome. It was fun.
Thank you. Yeah. I've done it all, right? I've learned to be better. I'm very much neutral now when my people are on there.
It's hard.
But I love being able to jump in there when I've cornered someone for Combates before. And it is such a cool experience to be able to be there too. So I'm doing a lot better, a lot more professional now.
Love it. What's your all-time
bias as hell? Here.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, we say it all the time. Like
we are a biased show.
Yeah, we are a biased, outlet, and we're honest about it. So you can't hate us,
Yeah.
What's your all-time favorite Halloween costume?
Ooh.
Okay, so I did this. It wasn't my idea, but I actually did this. I think it was like my first year of college. I did a Girls Gone Wild outfit. And so I did the censored. So I made like a censored, cardboard right here. Yeah. I went and got like a Girls Gone Wild hat. Hey, that's me. So
there you go. Hey.
That was super original, but I felt very proud because I did it myself. So I was like, yeah, that's cool.
That's funny.
I think Taylor Swift said a song about 22 or something like that. I don't know. I think it's out there.
Yes, I was a young 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Didn't know any better.
Yeah.
My poor parents, but hey.
Last question for you. If you were a promoter and any any time zone, any state, anything like that. You can dream. You can make any fight in the combat sports world. What fight would you make as a dream promotion?
Oh, fight wise?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. You know, it's one of those. That's a tough one. That's actually a really good question.
I get
So
paid the
many
big bucks, Talie.
so many of them have happened already. I think it's funny too because I was so obsessed with Gina Carano.
Okay. Yeah.
I was so obsessed with her. So I think to see her come back, and again, that was like years and years ago. I know she's like living her life now, but honestly, like Gina Carano, I think again, Cyborg again, or anybody like that would be amazing. It's so cool. Any girl fight, I think is amazing.
Love it. Awesome. Talie, so happy for you. So happy for your success. And I just know you will keep on going. And we'll talk soon. We'll talk soon, my friend.
We'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Talie. Have a good day.
Super nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
She's a stud. Absolute stud. There's Talie. Man, such a good shoot. Dude, we are 2 hours.